So from yourself as a leader with your levels of experience, what would you say are the most kind of significant kind of business challenges that you've had to deal with, and whether those are kind of external or kind of internal, kind of up to now, as it were?
Yeah, I'd say there's a common theme that runs through all of them, and it's just the word change. Yeah, and change can come in lots of different ways.
Mm.
Um, as we talked, I've been through a number of acquisitions in getting acquired, and some divestitures along the way as well. And also through, the ups and downs of markets, yeah, where you're in companies that are growing, and the morale in growing companies is always fantastic, yeah, because just everybody's psyched about how things are going. But then you can get downturns like 2008, some of the challenges we're facing now, that can turn themselves into quite the opposite, yeah, where you're unfortunately having to let people go from the organization. And for me, in dealing with change, it's all about communication. And as much as you can, sincere communication. Yeah, it's always, you find as a leader, things that you can't communicate to the wider audience internally, but you can still communicate in a very sincere way. Be clear that this is what I can tell you right now. We'll tell you more as things evolve, things like that. And you get the respect of the teams. I've seen too often in organizations where there isn't consistent messaging or things like that, and it just seeds inadvertently distrust, yeah, and you lose morale in the organizations. And this could be change in any direction, yeah, up, down, sideways, whatever. And I think with the acquisitions and divestitures I've been through in particular, that's where people are worried about, am I going to have a job? Am I not going to have a job? What role could I have? All of those kind of things. So open communication for me is the one thing that I think really differentiates, good leaders out there in the industry.
And I mean, we've been through changes ourselves in the business, kind of through an MBO and joining Engage. And you mentioned there quite a lot about kind of morale and the team ethic. Do you see that as a key element and a key requirement of a leader to build that?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, everyone drops the culture word, all the time about, let's rally around the culture. And a lot of organizations, if you to ask individuals, their employees there, what is their culture? You'd probably get from, 5 people, you get 6 different answers. And there isn't really enough focus on what it is that binds everybody together. And I think that is, where once you've got an identified culture, and then you've got employees that are behind that, you're able to really drive the organization, and it helps with morale because people understand from that culture then, what are we trying to achieve, how are we measuring ourselves. Again, organizations that, 12 months of the year go by and then they say, well, we didn't do as well as we expected. Well, did the rest of the organization know what was expected?
Yeah, having that vision, having